CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
All right, and turning back to our coronavirus coverage, a stimulus plan could put money in your pocket and help the stalled economy, but with the national debt at more than $20 trillion, is a stimulus package a long-term solution or just a quick fix? And joining us live now is Aaron Pankratz, and Aaron is the chair of the economics department, and it also includes anthropology over at Fresno City College. And Aaron, thank you so much for joining us this noon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And just first of all, we talked earlier and I asked, what was your first reaction to the announcement of a stimulus bill as big as this one?
Well, so my first reaction is thank you. This is something that's needed. Our outgoing president actually had argued for a larger stimulus than what we got last month. And now President-elect Biden is indeed fulfilling that and granting something that is necessary at the moment. But this is really more of a short-term solution. I like to think of it as a Band-Aid for really the ultimate fix, which we need is reopening our economy eventually and getting long-term incomes back in the hands of people through jobs. But for the moment, this is something that is very necessary.
So this, I like what you said, it's a Band-Aid. So long-term, we need those jobs, and that's really what's going to heal the economy. What is the impact to our nation's debt, the long-run effects on our country?
Yeah, this is something that we talk about with our classes in economics. We're really following the ideas of a famous economist that came out of the Great Depression named John Maynard Keynes. And so this is Keynesian economics. Keynes said, during an economic time of hardship, go ahead and don't worry about the deficit, the size of the deficit. Spend, 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 get the economy rolling again. But what Keynes said is that at the end, when we're in better economic times, pay off the debt that you've accumulated. We're really good at the first half of that. We're not always so great at the second half, which is paying off our debt. And so our debt just continues to accumulate and grow and grow and grow. It's now over twice as much as it was before the Great Recession in 2008. It is ballooning, expanding. And when you see the size of a deficit, over $2 trillion deficit this last year in 2020, and probably will be larger this year, that's something to be concerned about in the long run, unless we take some serious steps to eventually start paying it down.
And I guess then it begs the question, what are those steps? How do you start even paying off if someone had, a huge amount of credit card debt? I guess just a little bit at a time, or how do you do that?
A little bit at a time. Yeah, we don't need to do this in 1 year. In fact, we couldn't do it in 1 year. The size of our debt is now larger than the size of our entire national economy, unfortunately. Wow. But this happened to Greece in about 2011. The country of Greece, finally got to the point where they could no longer even pay off the interest on their debt, and they had to be bailed out by the European Union, who said, we will give you the bailout money if you impose some austerity measures, which means stop spending so much. And the problem is the Greek people were so used to all the government programs and everything, they started rioting. You had these retired Greek people throwing rocks at police and government buildings and having riots over reduction in spending. The hard thing as a politician is, how can you get elected saying, I'm going to fix our debt by giving you less money and raising taxes? That's not something that wins elections. So it's going to take a lot of guts from a group of people eventually to say, we really need to tackle this problem and start spending down little by little, but actually running some economic surpluses, which we haven't done since 1999.
Wow, what a timeline and great history there. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure to have you this noon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. And hey, if you're